Hello, Bay Area. I'm Nagaraj Anaya, Bay Area Realtor. Sorry for the interruption. Today I'm joined by Mahendra Damodar, and we are going to talk all about the mountain house today. If you have any questions, do give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 408-912-5038. Hi, Mahendra. Welcome to the show.
And
So, Mahendra, so tell me one thing. Why mountain house is now becoming so like kind of attracting to the lot of buyers out there? What's more about mountain house?
so Mona is also, I live here for 12 years, by the way.
Mhm.
So I've seen the community grow and all. But importantly, the way it was planned, uh, that itself should be the seller. It is an integrated community. So it's a township, it's village-based system. It has its own school district. It will have its own downtown. All the good things. So whatever we have seen near about Ruby Hills or Sanamon in here,
And
this is planned very similar.
no, I think see few things to attract more people moving to the mountain house, right? As you said, is a top schools,
Right.
right? Great neighborhood, correct?
Yes.
And I remember 2017, 2015, people were talking about mountain houses so far,
Yeah.
correct? But now it has become one of the sought destination or the sought home buying place in the mountain house, right? One of the
Right.
destination. Listeners, you're listening to Nagaraj Anaya, the Realtor Show. Today I'm talking to Mahendra Damodar. I'm live from Mountain House. We have two open houses here. And if you have any questions, you can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 408-912-5038. I'll be talking more about today's open house and the next week coming up open house in Mountain House and one open house in Fremont. So Mahendra, so tell me about the various like basically various villages in Mountain House and
Sure.
how it is.
So now coming to the distance, it
Mhm.
still is the same distance, but the area has been expanding. Yes, number one.
Yeah.
And then COVID also happened, and pretty much people that had to work for 5 days a week do not have to. But more so importantly, this is the place where you actually get good living. And that connects to where we are speaking about the villages.
Mhm.
So we are a village-based system. Every village will be built with about 1,000 homes approximately,
Mhm.
plus or minus. And then it'll have its own park, it'll have its own dog park, it'll have its own neighborhood park, and then there will be an elementary school for every village, K through 8. There is no middle school system here.
No middle school here.
No.
Okay.
And then all these villages are connected primarily by the high school. We are more like school going community out here. Majority of the buyers that who buy home here, they're looking for the school district, and we happen to be number one school district in San Joaquin County. Sorry. So all good things, and anyone that has come to Mountain House, I mean, they would already know all the vibe that I'm speaking about. But if you do drive by, you would understand yourselves that it's not a self-repeated community. You come here, you find your home, you are in place. It's a place where you want to live for the reminder of the good life that we have out here. Again, as I said, personally, I lived for 12 years. I've seen the community growing the way it is today. It took time, but all the good things happened during this course of time. It's not just the COVID. More importantly, the high school came in 2014. That really, provided a impetus. You know, big expense for the community. It was $120 million when they built, and then they built some extension and all the good things. But once the high school happened, it became hell. Until then, people that were worried about sending their kids to high school could not come, and people that wanted a established system could not foresee the facts that we already are a beautiful place. But once the high school happened, now it's all integrated. We have Montessori system all the way through Delta College.
Okay.
And happens to have high school as well since 2014. So your kid can enroll into the high school and do early college program. So
Oh,
that's
that's
not,
nice.
yeah, it's not offered everywhere.
Mhm.
My older one is eighth grader, and we are already planning for her good things with the high school as well.
Okay.
So I kind of know what is happening, not just selling homes, but the why there.
Listeners, we are talking about Mountain House today. I'm live from Mountain House today. Today they have an open house here in the Mountain House, so we're discussing all about the Mountain House. And if you have any questions, you're one of the buyer who is exploring the Mountain House, or like you're exploring the Sanokin County, like Mount Sanokin County can be a Lathrop, it can be Tracy, or it can be Manteca also, right? All the way up to where? Sanokin.
So we will put some boundaries, but you can go
Yeah.
up to Stockton, Lodi as well.
Stockton, yeah. So if you're one of the buyers who wants to start something exploring all about Mountain House, right? And if you have any questions, our studio line numbers are 408-912-5038. Myself, the Nagarajan, a realtor. I'm joined with Mahendra Damodar, and we're discussing all about Mountain House today. It's a Mountain House special today, okay? And happy Mother's Day to everybody. And if you have any questions, you can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 408-912-5038. Mahinder, one important question. So we talked about the villages and the schools and amenities, right? We know the commute times. The commute times are kind of a hard thing for the Mountain House, but the other shortcuts are like, what are the other ways? For example, somebody needs to explore the Mountain Houses, like the train system. Is the one of the options?
Ace train is there. It goes from Tracy, but most of us we typically take the train from Livermore.
Okay, from Livermore.
Right.
Okay. And overall vibe is like, do we see a lot of cultural activities around here? How is that?
In fact, the way you see most of the East Bay cultural activities happen in mountains because we have the space in schools and the system where we can accommodate crowds. So year long we've been seeing this for at least last 5-6 years.
Okay.
Coming to the commute, train is one option. We have a lot of van pools and to everywhere else into the Bay Area. We also do have quite a few corporate establishments that are sending their buses.
Yeah, I think that's the one important thing, right? I heard a lot of my clients who has bought in a Mountain House in the Tracy. They have the Apple buses, shuttle buses, starts all the way from the 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
We have one call. Welcome to the show. Myself, Nagarajan Nair. Name, please.
Yeah, hi. My name is Kishore.
Yeah, hi, Kishore. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, please go
I
ahead.
was looking for, I don't know if you're covering, I did hear that you were talking about Manteca and Lathrop. Would you be able to answer questions on those areas as well?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I had a question about, investment property in those two areas, correct? So why should we buy there? Do you see a growth for rental? Do you see demand for rental in those areas? Because there's a lot of new construction. Why would someone buy versus rent in Lathrop or Manteca, and what are the pluses and minuses of buying there?
Yeah, see, Mountain House, the one thing for the Manteca, right, is the price range, because the price ranges are typically around 700K starter homes, right now.
Right. I mean, you
also even get it for 500, maybe around 500K is the
depending on the
Manteca.
Yeah.
And but if you go to all the way to the Clovis, you can get up to a 400K, 450K also.
That'll be a little farther, but
yes, 450K also.
Sure.
Where do you get a 500K homes in a Bay Area with a new constructions or closer to a new construction? And the rental wise also, right? Like you might get typically 2,500 to a 2,600. If you're comparing it to a Mountain House, the Mountain House price ranges, home prices are $1 million.
Okay.
So looking at even the Mountain House used to be like Manteca. So Mountain House was like starting, I remember 2017, 2018.
Starter homes would be around that.
Around 400K, 500K. You can look around from what has happened from last 8 years now. Right? So that is the people are thinking about the Manteca, the next Manteca, and even the River Islands. Go to the River Islands also. River Islands used to be 700K, 800K. Now even the starter homes with the riverfront homes with the 2,500 square footage are $1 million. Okay, I'm talking about the River Islands. Lathrop prices might be slightly different compared to River Islands. So it's because of the investment, like where you can make sure, like if you're making 20% down, 25% down, whatever the value you get it back. It's better in Manteca and other areas. That's one of the reasons. And in Manteca, one more thing, what we are noticing is a 55 plus homes also, right? So 55 plus homes are more.
There are a few neighborhoods, yes.
Yeah, so that's what you need to watch out for that. But it might be prices might be cheaper in there, but rent is what you need to look for. Are there rental restrictions or whatever it may be? And one more thing is,
Got it.
instead of going into a traditional homes buying in a Mantica, try to get a bigger lot sometimes. Maybe you can subdivide the lot and add the ADUs, or like you can add the single family home also. That is also one of the options you can consider in the Manticas.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, do you have any
Would you recommend buying new versus slightly old, maybe a few years old versus brand new in these areas?
Look, it always it's always dependent on the price point. If you are able to get apples to apples between newer versus older, and if it is only like 5 to 10% in difference, it's advisable that you go with newer home, because you may not have to worry about spending repairs, money on repairs and other
But
unforeseen things for foreseeable future. At least 10 years, you have all the structure warranties in place. But with that said, opportunity will be different for each
Yes.
home as is. So it depends on which home you are looking at and what price range it is in, and what is the uh, net benefit versus what are the negatives that you have to work with, is something you need to consider. And there's no right answer whether
I think
buying.
investment, that's well said, Mahi. Investment, there is no straightforward yes or no. It depends on the vision what we set forward, right? For you, just you're looking for just a rental thing. You're not looking anything. Maybe it's newer constructions are works out. Maybe, but if you're looking at it as a lot wise, maybe you want to do a constructions wise, right? Maybe the older one works out better. So it depends on what you want to achieve there. Depending on that, you can go for it.
got it. How is the rental market though? I mean, like you guys were already stating, right? It's quite far off from from Bay Area overall. So I mean, do you see that there is a strong rental market over there in all those three areas?
Rental is not necessarily extended from the area, and not necessarily somebody working in San Jose is coming to rent in Mantica just because they're priced out of San Jose. That typically is not the way renting works. I mean, essentially, primary buying, yes. I need to buy a home eventually and live and call it my home. So I have to just work with my finances and buy where I'm able to afford. Versus renting, there is local market. I mean, people that work in Mantika, people that work in Lake Road, they'll also need to find a home to live. So those are typical places where you'd be renting, the typical clientele you'll be renting.
And one more thing to consider, a lot of people forget it out, right? Like tax benefits, right? So you can write off for the next 27 years when you're doing it is like depreciation on the tax benefits. But there's one more thing a lot of people don't do is a cost segregation. There are some companies basically they can work with you and tell you, instead of writing it for the next 27.5 years, you can write it off for next 7 years or a 10 years. But for that, they need to do a cost segregation, understand how much depreciation max they can do it. So maybe that is also one of the options you need to consider always as an investment properties. Not only the rent, how much depreciation you can make.
Okay.
That is very very important. That a lot of people just look at the rental मुझे rental इतना आता है, property tax इतना है, it doesn't work out. But उसमें top of it is the cost segregation. Can we apply a cost segregation, or can we apply a property depreciation? Because property depreciation is for 27.5 years, you need to wait for 27.5 years. But instead of, if you can do a cost segregation, you can write off in next 8 to 10 years, but you need to work with a CPA on that, or you need to work with the
Got
company
it.
to basically help you out on the cost segregation.
Oh, okay. Okay. Got it.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, listeners, I'm Nagaraj Annaya, the Bay Area Realtor. Today I'm talking to Mahinder Damodar, and we are exploring on the mountain house. Mahinder, so that was a good insights on that, right? Like, but let's talk about your, before we discuss more on the, I think before talking about your open house, I think let's talk about, is it a buyer's or a seller's market in mountain house, right?
It's it's relatively seller's market. Rates have been a little higher, so it's kind of getting to the middle ground.
I can see you smiling, but I know why. But listeners, if you have any questions, give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 408-912-5038. If you don't think so, what Mahinder is correct, also you can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 408-912-5038. Anything on Bay Area real estate, this is the only show where you can get all the questions about anything on the mortgage, anything on the real estate, way to invest, way to do it right, like properly on the real estate. You can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 408-912-5038. So you told it's a buyer's market, sorry, seller's market right now, right? But is it still affordable for somebody who wants to come and buy for a $1 million in a mountain house?
Yes. Um, there is always an opportunity for people to buy.
Mhm.
It depends on, are you comfortable with what you're getting? There are certain places, not places, certain homes that may be well under 1 million, but the longevity of that home, once you live in, and is it going to pay you back the way you invested, is a question that you have to ask for. Uh, if you're very complacent with the home you'd be getting and the neighborhood is all that you want, then you can comfortably buy a home under 1 million.
So still there are options for somebody who wants to buy $1 million, but don't expect a bigger lot, or like maybe don't expect a bigger house. Maybe a 2,000 reasonable 2,000 square footage, 3,000 lot. We can
Correct.
get it for $1 million.
Oh, yes.
Correct. But if you're looking for a bigger lot, then a bigger home, you can consider something like still even a River Islands, correct? River Islands is for, I think recently one of my client bought it for $1 million, 150. That was a lakefront home for close to 3,500 square footage. Okay. And when you open up the door, you can go to the lake.
All that things true,
But
with
yeah,
caveats.
see, it depends what you want at the end of the day. Okay. As I told you in the beginning of the show, real estate is nothing about wrong or right. It's what you want. That's what is finally is all about.
Very appropriate.
Right. So, listeners, you're listening to Real Estate Show from Nagaraj and Naya, and we are talking all about the real estate. If you have any questions on the real estate, do give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 408-912-5038. So, Mahendra, so you have one open house today and one coming up. Can we talk about both the houses?
Sure, thank you. So I have right now, I'm on the property 1160 Snapdragon Way, and it also has supplementary unit 1162 Snapdragon Way. The home comes as 2 units, but essentially it's one home. So anyone that may be interested in this happens to be a Shia built, 2020 built, and sold in 21, and it's a resale home at this time, but it happens to be a model home with 150K.
I think I looked at this house. It's wonderful upgrades.
Yes.
Everywhere you can see a nice high ceiling. And I think if somebody is considering as a rental options also, right? Like this is a great starter home, but if they want to go for up to $1 million, 50, okay. So it depends. Again, I'm just giving a price range. I'm not giving out.
No, I'm not selecting. But it is a beautiful.
It's a beautiful house, good facing. And if somebody is looking for a to occupy and rent out, the one more option also, right? Like where they can basically pay off maybe $5,000, but they can get a $2,000 in the rent back, $2,500 in the rent back. This is a great options for them. If you have any questions, you can give me a call. We can talk more about that. But the second house, like what's the second house you're coming up in the next week?
So Nag, if I may, I'll just quickly conclude on this house.
Uh-huh.
So this is a 2-unit home.
Okay.
The primary unit is about 1,500 square foot, 2 bed, 2.5 bath. The additional dwelling unit is about 775 square foot. Primary unit comes with its own 2-car garage. It's a model home. So everything is not only furnished and equipped, but it's top of the line.
Okay.
Again, built by Shea, so you know the kind of masonry that they go with and all the good things that they do. And these units were making very good rent. Both were rented out during the last year. The primary was making 2,800. The additional dwelling unit was making 2,300, and it's still rented lower than the market price. So you probably can get better than that, given that this is a model home. It's very attractive, very beautiful. I definitely request all your clients to consider this home.
Yeah, that's what listeners. If you're considering kind of a rental option, and if you want something where you can stay and rent it out, this is a great home. And Mahi, can you give out the address again? It's 1160 Snapdragon Way, or 1162. 1162 is an ADU unit. So, listeners, we have still few more minutes. And if you have any questions on this house or anything on the mountain house, anything on the Bay Area real estate, do give us a call. This is studio line numbers 408-912-5038. I'll give out my number at the end of the show, but listen to it. But today we are talking all about the mountain house, and we are discussing about the Snapdragon Way, which is the current listing, and we are going to talk about the next listing, which is coming up in the next week in the mountain house, and then we'll talk about the one listing in a Fremont and a Gilroy too. So Mahi, you can talk about the new listing which is coming up.
So the new one is on 844 North Melita Way. It's a huge house. Again, Shea built. 3,700 close to square foot home, 5 beds, 4.5 baths,
Mhm.
and about 8,800 square foot lot. And it's a wraparound northeast corner home, meaning
Wow.
your lot is not only towards the back of the house, but it kind of goes around the house. It comes with the things that I haven't seen in any of my listings before.
Is it better than the 2 million home which got sold?
So I'll not do unnecessary comparisons, but I have not seen a home like this before.
Yeah.
Simple reason.
I think no comparisons. It's
yeah.
just moving out.
But it is bigger in every sense. It is spent on a lot more than that $2 million. So if
Yeah.
you may get my hunch.
And the reason I'm talking about $2 million is like, I remember 2 years back, one home in Mountain House got sold for the $2 million. Do you guys believe it? During the COVID times, that was the highest price point to be sold until now in the Mountain House. So please go Mahendra.
Sure.
Here.
So the first thing that attracts me and why I said I have not seen a home like this, this was formerly owned by a CFO. So he put Italian marble across the floor.
Wow.
The whole main level is it's European marble, but it is entire floor. And the second level, it's acacia wood, the hardwood. There's no carpet in the house. In the backyard happens to have about 100K into just there's a waterfall, this, that, and all. It's pleasing to the eyes if you see, you understand and appreciate better. But all I can narrate is I haven't seen a home like this. The way it is set up, and the current sellers are my clients while we bought this home as well. And I do know the money spent by them.
Listeners, if you want to know what's the address, do give me a call and I'll give you the numbers. So I have one more open house today at 38308 Redwood Terrace, 2 bed, 2 bath. If somebody is paying a rent but they just want to, instead of a rental, they want to own their house, how to own the house for even for a 10% or a 5% down. If you want to know, come and visit me today at open house at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at 38308 Redwood Terrace. Why pay rent when you can own a house for yourself in a Fremont? It's a great school. It has a one balcony in the first floor, second balcony in this attached to a master suite, and one more in the patio also. So where do you get it for $1 million? If you are looking for to buy a house, $1 million house in basically in a Fremont at a 38308 Redwood Terrace in a Fremont, do come and visit me at the open house at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And if you would like to have $1 million in a mountain house, I think I gave you the address is 1162 Snapdragon Way. We have two open houses today, one in Mountain House, that is 1162 Snapdragon Way. It will be hosted by Mahendra Damodar, and the one open house will be hosted by me at 38308 Redwood Terrace. Do come and talk to us there. And any questions on the house, we are happy to take an answer to you. So one last anything update, Mahi?
Well, please do come to Mountain House, and it's a beautiful place to live.
If you want to buy a house in Bay Area, right, do give me a call, and I think I would be happy to help you out. And all these recordings would be uploaded in my Nagaraj Annaya's YouTube channel. Do please like and subscribe so that you can basically get more insights and on the Bay Area real estate, because house buying, right, it is not going to be like one straightforward. Like as soon as you see, you'll go and buy. You have a lot of questions which needs to be answered properly and need to know it.
Correct. You need to know the variables.
What it goes in. Nothing is wrong or correct in buying a real estate, but what is based on our needs, we go and buy it. So let me talk about the open house today again. It's a 38308 Redwood Terrace in Fremont. From here, from Mountain House to Fremont, I'll be going starting now. So I'll be there at the open house from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. today. If somebody wants to start our home for a $1 million in a Fremont, then do come and talk to me there. And so Mahi has a one more open house at 1162 Snapdragon Way.
Right, 1160 and 1162. That together.
Yeah, that's with an ADU option. If somebody wants to look for an investment options in a mountain house, this is a great home for them.
Everything is paid off.
We didn't talk about the solar.
It's all paid off.
Solar is paid off for that. So, listeners, if any questions, do reach out to me at 858-880-4577. Are you looking for an investment options, or if you are looking to buy or sell a house in the Bay Area, do reach out to me. And one more thing, if you want to talk to me, it's easy to remember. Go to nagarajhomes.com, click on the WhatsApp icon, and it's easy to connect with me. And thank you so much, and have a wonderful day out there, listeners.
Thank you, Nag.
Thank you.
Promote your business, product, or service.